Oi, lads.
Okay, we've got a mono red deck today. This is a deck that won the standard challenge recently. Full disclaimer, they actually came 8th in the Swiss portion of the event, but coming 8th still gets you into the top 8, and then they managed to go through the top 8 and ended up actually winning the whole event. So it didn't smash everything, but it did win the tournament. So and I do love a bit of mono red, so I'm gonna try it. There's nothing massively crazy going on except maybe the 4 Squees. Squee is an amazing card, one of the highest win rate cards in mono red. So I don't have any problem with playing 4 copies. It's just a little bit unusual. 2 Shivan Devastators is also a little bit more than you would normally see. Normally it's 0 or 1. But again, it's just a fine card, right? There's nothing too crazy about playing 2 copies. The rest is kinda normal, apart from also maybe the chicks. The chick, of course, that's a very popular card in mono red and best of 1. A little bit less popular in best of 3 because you play against a bit more Grixis, you see a bit more Corpse Appraisers, Hearses, these type of things, especially after sideboard. So your chicks will be a little bit worse here in best of 3, but I've not tried them in best of 3, so let's give them a go. The sideboard is just a pile of removal spells, so we'll see how those line up. But let's play a couple of matches and see how this how good this deck actually is. Alright, match 1, we're on the draw. I guess the good thing about playing 4 Squeeze is that you're gonna have one a lot of the time, and it is a damn good card, so... I do love Squee. I play Squee a lot, but I've never had the... I've never played 4 in one deck. But as I said in the intro, man, I mean, I'm not against it by any means. I'm actually pretty hyped to see if it works out. It is just a crazy card though. I mean, it's Legion, it's essentially Legion War Boss with Escape, right? It is gas. So we're on the draw against Soldiers. This will be a true test of the deck here. Opponent passes, so probably either a counter spell or that flash guy that makes a token. So we can go Swiftspear, hold up, play with fire, or we can go Swiftspear, play the other Kumano. We don't have a third land in hand. We don't know if we're drawing a third one. Okay, yeah, I'll just play the other Kumano. The only real sad thing about playing the other Kumano here would be if opponent goes Siege Veteran next turn and pumps the Siege Veteran itself, so then it wouldn't die to play with fire. But even if they do that, we still have Lightning Strike, right? So there we go. So a Sky Strike Officer is perfectly fine. So now we have Lightning Strike, play with fire, or Squee. Or Squee with a counter, I should say, a Kumano counter. I think we definitely want to get rid of this Sky Strike Officer, though. And what do you do with the play with fire? I think you've got to use the play with fire, huh? We can't really be letting them play land draw with the officer. Although, to be honest, that's not that bad, is it? If they draw with officer, I mean, we're either getting a Squee or a Raiju down. Like, it's actually a bit slow. Yeah, I think this is okay. Alright, no land, so we will go with the Squee. Squee also a very good creature to cast into open mana because you're not too sad if it gets countered, right? You're probably going to be able to bring that Squee back at some point. Yeah, this is all fine. Opponent seems to actually be very scared. That's a lot of... It's a lot of trades. Which again I think that's good for us, right? Like our individual card quality is better than theirs. They're looking for like a big board and a lot of synergies. Like yeah, they've clearly just top decked a Sky Strike Officer there, and now they've got massive regrets for making these blocks. Okay. Again, like I really want to kill the officer, but how would I go about doing that? I'd have to play a 2/2 Devastator to leave the mana open for a play with fire. I can't justify that really. Let's just go Raiju, let's pump this Kumano. And that's enough to take it down, and look, we still had plenty of money in the bank here. Gas in the tank. Okay, well that was a very impressive first game. And damn, we have a nice sideboard for soldiers, huh? Give me some Brotherhood's Ends, give me some bolts. Abrade. Abrade's kind of a random card. So Squee, as I know I've spoken a lot about Squee, but look, I love the card, man. But it is probably at its absolute worst on the draw against soldiers. So let's get rid of some of them, especially when we're bringing in some other 3-mana cards. Feldon is another one that's terrible in the draw against soldiers. The chick is still okay. I mean, the chick can just kind of peck away while we're competing otherwise on the board. But we do still have to make one cut, and I guess it will be one of our chicks. Although, I'm looking at the Abrades, and I guess the Abrades are better than any of the chicks, so let's just play those. On the draw, we want basically all of our removal, at least all of our removal that's efficient enough against their creatures. We don't want Rending Flame, because you're going to end up casting a Rending Flame on some weird 2-drop, and you know, it's going to suck. You're going to be down on mana, you're already down on tempo because you're on the draw. But everything else is playable, I think. Well, I don't know, man, when you're on the draw against soldiers, you don't mind it when they do nothing, do you? It's not going to make you too sad. If opponent's going to do nothing, then I'll go ahead and I'll do something. That's fine. Resolute Reinforcements looking real shit here. CROKEYZ is fine. Mountain is not. We can get in and we'll use the bolt after combat. Wow. That's fine. Go ahead. Oh. We use a bolt after combat, and yeah, the adversary has haste, but we wouldn't be attacking with this one anyway. I think attack with one, hold one back is, and protect our own life total is a bit better. Okay, well we're not blocking now, so now there's a small bit of regret from not attacking. That is a Brotherhood's End. So that's a good card. Can we get more out of them? That's the question. The problem with holding the Brotherhood's End here is that we run the risk of them just, again, just going land draw with the officer, right? Guess we could go... Let's go Raiju. Attack all. Let's put a counter on our Raiju. Raiju will not die to Brotherhood's End. And I mean, if you slam a Thundering Raiju here, it's not exactly the type of creature that's going to make the opponent think, oh, they've got a Brotherhood's End. Yep. Okay, worked out great. We're going to get a Siege Veteran too. Bolt, huh? Bolt. Dude, I think we can still hold this Brotherhood's End. Let's just get rid of this veteran. Nah, come on. It's time. It's time. They've only got 3 mana. They're going to 3. We want to use the Bolt first, because we don't want to give them a bunch of tokens, right? Raiju's a great creature, but it can get chumped into oblivion by a Siege Veteran, and there we go. That's a good solid win against soldiers. Alright, let's play another and see what happens. Alright, match number 2, we're on the draw. Okay, Feldon and Squee looking a little sus on the draw here, but we still keep for sure. Shivan Devastator is actually quite a nice one on the draw though. Wow. Okay, top deck Kumano, all of a sudden everything's looking juicy. What a card. Kumano is, bro, it's absolutely busted, man. One mana card has just turned our hand from mid into essentially almost unbeatable, I would say. Okay. Check, strike, or Squee. So if we Squee, they're going to block the Squee token, I assume. They're going to take 7. And they're going to swing back. Well, that seems way worse when I can just make them take 6 anyway, so we lose 1 damage. We lose 1 damage and we prevent them from making a treasure. And they're already dead, man. Okay. This mono red deck is doing it. So we're just playing against normal Rakdos here. So we're going to play the Rending Flames for the Shellies. The question is, do we want Abrades? Or how many Abrades do we want? We can play up to 3. I mean, do I really want Abrade just for Bankbuster? Like, Bankbuster is a decent card, but I feel like my deck here is kind of built to, you know, just to kill Bankbuster decks. I don't think that's why we would want to play Abrade. We want Abrade for the fat artifacts in the meta, right? Not for the Bankbusters. So let's take those out. Let's just keep our Rending Flames. Play with Fire, Lightning Strike, Rending Flame. Maybe we cut the Devastators on the draw? No, let's cut the Feldons. Keep our Flyers. Rakdos does have a bit of a weakness to Flyers, actually. And we've got the Chicks and the Devastators. Okay, there's one of our Rending Flames. So we should be safe from one Shelly. And I mean, this is looking pretty good, huh? The deck just feels so consistent. It's nice. Are we ever going to make it to 5 mana for the adversary? Yeah, I would say maybe. So let's just go for another check, especially when they're holding up open mana, right? Like they don't want to kill a chick with a removal spell. So yeah, you can see they've just passed their turn. That's pretty good for us. And we get to kill the harvester. Okay, it's all working out nice. There's the 4 of Squee payoff. Perfect Squee top deck. And I think this game's over. I like this deck a lot, man. I like it a lot. Yeah, look. Good time to play the adversary now, because they do have open mana here. There's probably going to be a removal spell on our Squee. We've got Play with Fire. If they play a Fable or another Harvester. So you can see, like, if they play a Fable or a Harvester, we can kill it with the Play with Fire. If they play a Shelly, we can untap into the Rending Flame. The reason why I didn't just go to combat and bring the chick back for 2 is because of the open mana, right? Like if we go to combat there, they kill the Squee. We've only got 2 creatures. We can't get our Squee back. We can't play our adversary mana. We're essentially just skipping the turn where we've time locked ourselves, right? So even though there is a chance we can get the Squee back there, I still think you go for the adversary. But regardless, that was pretty goddamn impressive. 2 clean wins, 2 fast wins, and to be honest, man, it was so fast that let's just play another game. Alright, encore, baby. This is one more match than I was gonna play, but hey, those first 2 were just insanely fast. And if this hand's anything to go by, then hopefully this game's fast too. On the play, Swifty. Gotta say, I've not been massively impressed by the Devastator so far, but I also have to say that I am very much believing in the 4 Squeeze. If I was going to make my own version of Mono Red, I'd definitely go up to 4 Squee now. Still not sure by these dragons though. I mean, I really want to slam a creature here. It's a 1/1. It's just it's a 2 mana chick that can't be recurred. Gala Greeters, huh? Yeah, I mean, what could go wrong leaving a Gala Greeters in play? Let's just slam it. Hopefully they don't do too much with their Greeters here. It would be nice if they play a 2 toughness creature, and we can just kill both. Okay, we can kill both. Do we want to let them block? Yes, I suppose we should just attack, right? If they want to chump, I'm not going to complain. How much damage is this? This is 3, 4, 5 plus 9. It's lethal? Yeah. Okay. Pretty good. Alright, let's go to sideboard. Okay, we're playing against some sort of Naya, you know, Naya, go wide, token, small creature nonsense. So you know the nonsense. Let's get the Brotherhood's ends in. Let's take the Abrade out. Let's take the Devastator out. And I think that's about it, man. I mean, what else are you going to do? It's Naya Pile, right? Just... We're on the draw, we can get a board wipe in and maybe follow up with a Raiju or something. I do like this deck. As I said, I'm still unsure about the dragon, but I mean, come on. Mono red just seems pretty nicely positioned here in best of 3 right now. Because I think mono red is pretty good against soldiers as well, which is another thing it's got going for it. And obviously you can fight against these mid-range decks reasonably well. But yeah, the dragons and maybe the 3 Mishra's Foundries, like I could see it being 2, but yeah. The rest of it's pretty good. I think these Brotherhood's ends on the sideboard, you can make a lot of use of them as well. Right, we top decked a creature for a Kumano, which is great. We'll hold the play with fire. We're going to use the play with fire on the Galligrators, but we'll let them choose a creature that they're going to play under the assumption that they're actually going to get a Galligrator's trigger here. And then we'll say, not today, opponent. Pass, huh? Well, if they're gonna pass, I guess we'll get in. Get him, Squee. Get him. Abrade, okay, Abrade is fine. Hey, not a bad start at all for being on the draw. Although, to be fair, I mean, opponent hasn't done much in either game, to be honest. Yeah, Bolt, sure. You go Squee again. They're a lot more removal heavy than I expected, to be honest. But again, that's completely fine for us when we play 4 Squeeze. We're quite resilient to removal. Three removal spells from opponent and they're still on 10 and we've still got a board. Alright, go Squee again. What you got this time, opponent? An Emperor, okay.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it.
Yep, we were a bit too early there, opponent. You've just lost your Emperor.
I'll be back.
They shouldn't have done that. They should have waited until my Goblin got created and I was forced to go face with it. The Archangel of Wrath, huh? Well, that's a bit annoying, isn't it? We're gonna have to let it, like, 5 for 1 us, but sure. Could be worse. If they don't block, then that's not bad, right? We can play with Fire Face, we can take our Scry, and we can try and get the Raiju down. So they're playing Archangel, but they're playing Naya, right? So they have no black mana, so they should only be able to ever kick this once. I don't think we've seen anything that would suggest they can do black. Let's go with the play with fire. Let's get that land. Let's get that land. Okay, of course we needed a land here. Like, we're a bit screwed now. I think if we found the land and got the Raiju down there, we would at least be able to kind of put the opponent off from attacking, because the Raiju would be able to race them. Now it's hard though. Yeah, damn man, I thought we had that game. We had all these squeeze to kind of play around their removal spells. We've got a huge filled graveyard to bring the squeeze back. We had a Raiju which can beat an Archangel. Just no fourth land though. Damn, those Archangels are annoying, huh? Because I can't really justify the bolts, man. The bolts are just so bad against the rest of their kind of token strategy. Yeah, I think we've got to rely on our Raijus here. Maybe the bolts would be better than Brotherhood's End on the play, but even then I'm not convinced by that. Okay, fast start here. Not the fastest, no Kumano, no Swifty, but at least we've got a 1-mana play. That is the benefit of playing the chicks, right? Normally you don't see the chicks in best of 3. Just because there's a little bit more graveyard hit in best of 3 than there is in best of 1. But, you know, if it helps you fill out your curve, like, and you're playing mono red, you know, what's not to like? It's perfectly fine. Okay, there is the Kumano. It's a great start. We're going to need a little bit more than this to fight through all of their removal spells, but... Alright, very bad draw there. We do have a Foundry, we do have a Sokenzan, we do have a Kumano flipping. Let's see what we can do. Only a 33% chance to draw another land now, so... Quite likely that we'll find some action. Opponent goes for the life gain. There's a Squee, alright. Okay, team, get him. They block the Squee, which is good for us for multiple reasons. Like, the Squee goes to the graveyard, we can bring it back later. It also means that they probably have a hand that is not massively concerned about getting the immediate treasure, which, if you think about it, means they probably don't have any of those Archangels, right? Because if they had an Archangel, they would want to make land drop, treasure, and then kick that bish. But with no Archangel, I guess they would block with the Goblin token if they had an Emperor. Emperor would be a bit annoying, but I think we can beat an Emperor though with Foundry, with Sokenzan. Seiyu goes, okay. That's fine. Raiju, Burn Spell, something like that would be huge here. Burn Spell is great. So let's attack with Foundry and we've got our play with fire. It's hard to imagine they're not dead here. Okay, not blocking the adversary is quite sus, so the adversary is going to die to something. But that would still leave them taking 4. And they're on 3. Okay. What else you got, opponent? Okay, so they were just dead even without the burn spell. Alright. Another clean win. Okay. Mono red doing it. Yeah, as I said, we made great use out of the squeeze. I'm not sure about the dragons. I think the sideboard is decent. I don't think you need too much more than that. Maybe I'd like to see a Jaya or something like that. Like maybe one or two planeswalkers just to really shore up the mid-range games. But bunch of removal in the main deck and the sideboard for other aggressive decks. Tons of sticky threats with the squeeze, etc. And some good over-the-top damage with the burn spells and the Raijus. I mean, it looks like a solid mono-red deck to me. Again, the person that played this deck, they came 8th in the Swiss of the Standard Challenge, which just squeezed them into the top 8. So they didn't do the best in the squee, but they didn't do badly. They still did more than well enough to get into the top 8. And then once they made it into the top 8, they ended up winning the whole event. So yeah, I can see how they managed to squeeze out just enough wins to win the tournament. I don't think this is going to be like a meta-breaking mono-red deck or anything, but I think if you're looking for a mono-red deck for best of 3, you could certainly try this one. It's not a bad deck. I don't think it's the best deck in Standard either, but playable? Absolutely. See you next time.
Ecuador. Ecuador.